Namaste. Now this is our last section in our bands of tension, and it encompasses our hips, our pelvic floor, and our legs. They all come together in one. So if most of us, we hold some sort of tension in this region. Now this is a 7-section little easy release of this area. So the first one is this, is our belly. This is called diaphragmatic breathing. And when we breathe in, our belly puffs up. And then when we breathe out, the navel draws in and up. And when we do this, we feel a little energizing near our pelvic floor. So just like a cough, like a light cough, you might feel it further down in your pelvic floor, or it's called your mula, or your vaginal walls tighten up, or for a guy, it's your perineum. And so what we're trying to do is focus down on the exhale and finding the completion of your exhale. So how we do this is when you think you've exhaled, exhale 1 to 3 counts more. So inhale, and the belly kind of rises up gently, expands. Exhale, and expand. Exhale a little bit more without straining. In, out. And this alone is a beautiful practice for releasing the tensions we hold down here in our pelvic floor region especially. So give yourself 8 to 15 breaths here. Now the next section is, we are going to bring in one of our knees. It doesn't matter which one, you decide. And the knee can go towards the midline, and it can go further out. But stay with this diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing. And then you can increase it by extending the opposite leg long. You can't see my leg, but it's long and it's laying flat. And just focusing on this belly breathing here for, again, 8 to 15 breaths. Breathing right into my leg, and the leg can go out to the side, it can come closer to the midline of my body. And breathe deep. And of course, switching sides. Your foot can be down and you can be bent up into the air. And again, out to the side, into the mid, then you can extend the leg long. It will increase a little bit of stuck energy. You'll feel the tensions. But breathe into them. And now, the next section is to bring both knees up. And the knees can be together. You can wrap your hands around them. You can draw in, you can bring them apart, draw them in. You move back and round, or it can lay long, extended. And again, 8 to 15 breaths will be sufficient, or longer if you have the time. Now stop. And now releasing your knees out wide, feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. We're going to play with this lengthening of our inner thighs, where we hold a lot of stress for the human body. This is part of our what they call the deep core line, or the deep fascia line. And even this alone, you could be up here, or you could be all the way to the ground, depending on your tension level or your storage of emotions here, or stress. Now, I'm going to take my fingers in my hand, I'm going to lightly bring it to my legs. And then I'm going to press my feet together, and it's like I want to do this action, but I lightly resist. Now, this takes a lot of effort. So just give it a little bit of time. And then relax. So again, the tense and release action. I like to bring my fingers towards my knee, if you have the ability, and I press. And then relax. And you can press and relax as many times and as long as you can. And maybe you feel it even deeper into your body. And then relax. Now with this, what we're going to do, if you have the capacity, you stay like this. If you can you bring up and reach for your feet? Keeping your feet together, your knees going wide. And then my elbows, they gently press again. And then from here, I try to keep my back long and I draw my feet in and my knees wide. I can use my elbows. And again, I play with this tensive release. I'm pressing in and then I relax. And then again, my feet are drawing by my hands towards my belly. My knees go wide and I press against my elbows with my legs and then I relax. And again, doing this as many times as it feels right for your body. Now, that really releases a lot of tension here. Now for the outer glutes and the piriformis region, what we're going to do is we're going to cross over. And from here, it's called soup to pigeon. We reach through our leg and we grab for either our shin or our hamstring, whatever you have the capacity for. And then again, we draw our foot in. And at the same time, we play with this and feel. Now to get more out of it, I'm going to take my elbow and it's my foot going closer to my chest or my stomach and my knee going wide. So that's how you get the full expansion and release, especially of this region, this crease region and the outer glutes and the deeper muscles in our hips. And you spend as much time as you can here, maybe a minute to 5 minutes, depending on your time and your ability to go into the sensations in this region. Now observe, maybe your right side is more open than your left. I've got a tighter left side, so when I do this work, I do it much longer on my left side. And then eventually you can get this openness, this expansiveness, and you feel this leg is relaxed. And then again, this foot draws in, this knee draws away. So, but not forcing. Be mindful to your knee. If you get a millimeter more than your normal range, then you'll feel it. And just breathe into that area. It's a beautiful, beautiful stretch. Now, if your hip is lifting way up in the sky, can you stay there and breathe, or can you gently now extend your tailbone or your sacrum down to the floor and feel what that does? There's many different kinds of releases you can do, movements of the body, that will show up differently in release. The final 2 stages is my knees are right over my hips. Now this is the beginning stage, and then I can play with this action of drawing my knees in without touching, and this will allow me to engage my psoas muscle and strengthen it. And then how much you have the ability to do this, holding it in, you'll feel that it starts to strengthen it, but it also starts to wither away stuck energy within it, because essentially you're tiring it out. So doing this action for as long as you feel comfortable. The next stage is again knees and hips, and then you can play around with straightening your legs. Now if you're here, that's fine, but if you can straighten them all the way, stay like that. Now this again detoxes the psoas, and then detoxes this outer, this line within our body, which is called the superficial back line. It goes from our forehead all the way to the bottom of my feet. Now from here, what you can do is stay here and breathe. This is called Viparina Karani. You can also do it against the wall if that serves you. But let's release even more of the legs. Now I'm going to bend one knee like this, and I'm going to reach, and I'm going to grab for my hamstrings. I'm going to grab the back of the knee, but be gentle with these ligaments that run here. You're going to feel them, or you can reach up even further. Now with this, I'm going to drop my foot down, and then I'm going to draw to the capacity. Now if you're here and you draw in, you'll feel something, so stay there. Now if you're here and draw in, feel there. I feel a little shaking sometimes. And then if you can grab, or you can reach for your ankle, or you can reach for your foot, and you're just drawing this in and feeling this. Now, I know you see I'm drawing it in. You could be here, and that's fine. But what you're going to do is you're going to open up the eyes of your legs. Now, the back of your knee is the eye of your leg. So it's like sending the energy from your knee towards your heel, from your knee to your hips. So it's not extending back with your knee, it's opening up with this energy line. And then playing with this action. At the same time, you're drawing the hip back away from your face, and you'll feel this line, especially here, start to open up. Now you can turn your foot out to the side, you can turn your foot to the midline, but if you do, you're going to feel different lines of energy release in the back of your legs, just by this simple outer and inner spiraling. And of course, again, switching sides and feeling maybe one side is more tense than the other. So make sure you stay present to what side needs the most and give it to it. And then spending some time doing this. I hope this helps you on your journey for releasing stress within the body. I know my body feels very different right now. I actually feel longer. I can breathe deeper, fuller, smoother, with the least amount of energy. My neck, my jaw, all feels great. So I hope you have this too. Namaste, and thank you so much for your time and effort.